Hello everyone. My name is Aditya. We are from Group 5 and we are going to give a project presentation demo on running clustering, association rule discovery and a decision tree using Veka and Orange software. So for this project implementation, we have gathered a data set uh, which is a PIMA Indian Diabetes Database. So we have gathered it from the Kaggle website. You can see here is the link to the website. So let me give you the context and the content. What does the dataset contain? Uh, First we will look at the context. So this dataset is originally from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. The objective of the dataset is to diagnostically predict whether or not a patient has diabetes based on the certain diagnostic conditions of the patient included in the dataset. So all the records in the dataset are or of the females of at least 21 years old of PEMA Indian heritage. So what does actually the dataset contain? So what are the columns in the dataset? So we have one target variable which is the outcome that we need to predict it. We need to predict the outcome whether the patient contains had the diabetes or not. So we have additional columns such as number of pregnancies the patient had and their BMI, insulin level, age, and so on. So let us have the all the attributes or see all the attributes in the data set. So the first one is the pregnancies, the number of times the patient had pregnancies. Second one is the glucose level, which is the plasma glucose concentration at 2 hours in oral glucose tolerance test. Which is the next one is the blood pressure, diabolistic blood pressure, which is measured in mm and Hg. The next one is skin thickness level, which is measured in mm as well. Insulin, which is a 2 hour serum insulin. And then BMI, which is body mass index. The next one is diabetes pedigree function. The next one is the age of the patient. The next one is the outcome, which is 0 or 1. 0 indicates the patient is healthy, 1 indicates that the patient is diabetic. So this is the target variable that we need to predict. So let us have a quick look into the data set. Here are the first 5 rows of the data set. In the first column, we have pregnancies. You can see the data is 6181. So these are the number of pregnancies that the patient had. The next one is the glucose level of the patient. So the next one is the blood pressure of the patient. The next one is the skin thickness. The next one is the insulin level of the patient. Then the next one is the BMI of the patient. And then the next one is diabetes pedigree function, and the next one is age, and then the final one is the predict. Or we need to predict that is the target variable, which is the outcome. 0 and 1. We have only two values in that outcome and the outcome column, 0 and 1. So let us have a quick look into the what is the data types of the columns and how many non-null values that does the data set contains. You can see here from we have total of 768 rows in our data set. So all of them are not having any null values. So we don't need to do any kind of imputations or removing of these null values. So the data set is already clean. So these are the we have data type for BMI and diabetes pedigree function is float, and all the remaining ones are of type integer. So the next one is, oh, let us see the distribution of the outcome of the outcome column or the variable. So we have only two values in that outcome column, 0 and 1. 0 is for healthy and 1 is for the diabetic patient. So out of 768, 65% of the data is 65% of the data is healthy, and then 35% of the data that is out of 768, we have 35% which are diabetic patients. So let us have the see at the number of unique values each column contains. So for pregnancies we have 17. For glucose column we have 136. For blood pressure we have 47. In skin thickness column we have 51 unique values. In insulin column we have 186. In BMI column we have 248. In diabetes pedigree function we have 517. In age column we have 52. The outcome which is the predict, we have to predict this variable, which is we have two values in the unique values. So that's it. uh, the next person will continue with the next topic.